Hello there, welcome to Talking Balearics with me, Martin Makepeace, in a very sunny and warm Ibiza.
And me, Richie Pryor, in a very sunny and warm Mallorca.
How are you, mate?
I'm all right, actually. Bit of a strange weekend weather-wise, but other than that, yeah, looks summer. It looks like it's turned again. Oh, we said that 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, no, but I really enjoyed it, Rich, because I was played 2 games of cricket Friday, Saturday. And then I just, when it rained, because it was miserable Sunday and Monday, wasn't it, really? So it was just a case of hitting the sofa and watching the football, mate. And nice to see your team struggling as always, Rich. So,
Oh, I know what you mean. We won 3-0 as far as I remember.
No, your English team, Rich. No,
okay.
I know, I'm sure we'll talk about Mallorca, but it was a great weekend, mate. Really good. Listen, sorry I'm late on the podcast today, but I got caught up with Humphrey. You know who Humphrey is, don't you?
No. Who's Humphrey?
From Mallorca Bulletin. Is it Humphrey?
Humphrey Carter.
Yeah, Humphrey Carter. Yeah, I just got caught up with him. Yeah, which is something I'll talk about in the main pod.
Oh.
But, I was on to him. He can chat, can't he, old Humphrey?
Yeah. Arsenal fan.
Is he a gooner? Is it? I wish I'd known that, mate.
See, we're all over the place, mate.
Yeah. It's a bit like measles, mate. You just get there, you go scratch it, that itch, haven't you? It's like terrible. Anyway, this is Talking Balearics. Enough of this.
Can I ask, actually, that's a good question I want to ask, because I was thinking about this when I was listening back to the podcast last week.
Yep.
Do you read a book of puns before you come on, just so you can try and sort of get one in every now and again? Do you know what I mean?
No, Richie, it's 50 years of listening to my old man, listening to people around me,
It's not natural talent. It's not natural talent, surely.
It's begged, stolen, and borrowed, isn't it? It's like anything. Fantastic, mate. Funny enough, I was watching Smashy and Nicey this week, mate, on some old reruns on. I thought that reminds me of two people, them two.
Not
half, mate. Anyway, Talking Balearics, Rich. What do you have for me this week?
What have I got for you? Well, this story's going to run. The Spanish Prime Minister's wife is charged with corruption.
I saw that.
My word.
A little giggle to myself.
It's not going to go well, is it?
Not really. And I'll save it for the main pod. But yeah, I've got a few comments on that one.
Mallorca and particularly Calvia welcomes a new hotel chain, and which is going to be very nice indeed. I've been reliably informed, so I'll tell you all about that.
Nice.
Also, a new docu-series on Rafa Nadal is about to be released on Netflix. So I'll tell you all about that. And we'll have a little chat about football as well, Mark.
Yeah, Rafa, Mallorca's favourite son, isn't he? I mean,
without doubt.
Have you ever met him, Rich?
No, I've watched him. I've been very close to him training. Yeah. On grass actually as well, and the speed and the ferocity that he used to hit the ball was unbelievable. Because you don't appreciate it really when you're watching it on TV, how fast these guys move and how hard they hit the ball. Yeah, I haven't actually met him in person. I've met his uncle Tony quite a few times, and I've interviewed him a couple of times as well.
We'll save it for the main pod. But veracity, is that a mixture between veracity and velocity? By the way, just out of interest.
Veracity, yes, it's how hard you hit the ball. Yeah,
is it really? Is it okay? Yeah. Very good indeed. So, what have I got for you this week? So, I have 3 things as always. First of all, I'll talk to you about what I was talking about Humphrey about. I've started a bit of a campaign. I mentioned it last week, but I'm going to go into more detail basically about the TIE holders when they come into Ibiza, because there seems to be slight communication breakdown. Let's just put it like that. And so I've put the wheels in motion on a little bit of a campaign. So I'll tell you how that's going. An old hotel in Cala in the north of the island. We mentioned it previous times in the podcast. Finally, we have some concrete news, and concrete's a good word to use because it's a concrete jungle. So we're going to use that. And thirdly, club opening, Rich. We're only 10 days away.
Good.
And yes, I know we kind of need that impulse. And there's a big news about that today, which I'll go into a bit more detail.
So Begonia Gomez, does that ring any bells to you?
Of course, it's Mrs. Sanchez to me and you.
Yeah, Mrs. Sanchez, the wife of the Prime Minister of Spain, Pedro Sanchez, has been charged with corruption. Surely something has to be done about this.
Don't forget, his brother's already been charged with corruption as well.
Well, obviously, I don't know how it works here in Spain. Is it innocent until proven guilty, or guilty until proven innocent? Yeah, so
I mean, it hasn't really garnered that much attention, Rich, has it? Really? I mean, it was a little piece in the paper. That's all I saw.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, I looked at the front page of the Ultima this morning, the Spanish newspaper, which I do every morning, and not really much of a mention of it at all. You're thinking, hang on a minute. So anyway, she's accused of bribery, embezzlement of public funds, and misappropriation following a 2-year investigation into multiple aspects of her professional life. Judge Juan Carlos Pinado, who's obviously not going to have too many more cases after this if it doesn't go well, closed the probe on Monday, indicating that she influenced public sector institutions by leveraging her status as the wife of the Prime Minister, who's been in power in Spain since 2018. Spain's left-wing government has dismissed the investigation as politically motivated and a fishing expedition, they call it. Gomez has denied any wrongdoing and can appeal to have the accusations dropped. The charges come at an embarrassing time for the Prime Minister. A week ago, his former transport minister went on trial, also for corruption, and is accused of receiving kickbacks on sales of PPE to government departments during the COVID-19 pandemic. That was in the UK as well, isn't it?
Old Chester. I mean, Francina Armengol's embroiled in that as well, isn't she?
She is.
So,
she was the former Prime Minister or President, of the Balearics. So
yeah, of course. Now,
interesting.
Yeah, very interesting, Rich. I mean, first of all, it's very politically motivated. Of course, it is. Everything in Spain is politically motivated. Goes without saying. It stinks a little bit, though, doesn't it? The brother's been charged, the wife's been charged. Now, I don't know if you listened to it, Rich. I listened to Pedro Sanchez on the Rest is Politics leading podcast of the day. If you haven't listened to it, I recommend you do listen to it because he comes across very well. He speaks perfect English, I've got to say. But what he says is quite worrying, Rich. It really is. I mean, I'm fundamentally against Sanchez. You know, he's not my wing of politics, should we say. And he comes across as he will do anything to stay in power. But then again, he is a politician, isn't he? Now, as we saw with Sanchez, he sold his soul when he sided with the Basque separatists. He sided with the Catalan separatists just to stay in power. I think we've only had 2 budgets in 5 years as well in Spain. So the whole thing stinks, Rich. It really does from top to bottom. And the quicker we have a general election in Spain, the better. And then let the people vote. But the problem is, Rich, me and you can't vote, which absolutely doesn't make any sense.
I was explaining this to people the other day.
It's ridiculous, isn't it?
Asking me,
it's ridiculous.
We're in a situation where we can't vote in the UK elections because we've been out of the country for more than 15 years, and we can't vote in this country because in their arms or their eyes, we are not residents, although we have a residence travel card, as you know, or like a TIE, as they call it. We can vote in our local elections. We're allowed to vote in the local ones, but we can't vote. We can't vote in the main elections, although we are fully paid up taxpayers.
I mean, it defies logic. It really does. And also, Rich, don't forget, we can't vote in the local Concr or the Balearic Concr either. So we, as an expat resident, we only get one vote, which is the local council, which defies logic. It really does, because if I think how much tax I've paid to the hacienda over the years, the main hacienda in Spain with all the property purchases and everything like that, it just defies belief. It really does. However, let's get back to Mr. Sanchez. Fundamentally, I don't agree with him. However, he is democratically elected. How he got elected is another conversation, but his wife should face the full force of the law, and if she's been a naughty girl, then she should go to prison, and if she's innocent, she should be acquitted. So let's see how that goes.
Yeah, that'll be interesting the next few weeks and months, maybe.
So airport queues, Rich. I mean, I've been doing a little bit of research. Let's just say we mentioned it last week, but Palma, it seems, has its house in order. When you arrive in Palma, apparently there's a separate queue for residents and TIE holders. I don't know if you're aware of that, Rich.
Yeah. We did talk about this last week.
Yeah, we did, didn't we? I mean, and
the problem is I haven't travelled since December, so I actually don't know if that's still the case. But as you just told us, it is. So
I've heard it on good authority. I spoke to a few people in Mallorca over the last couple of days just to do a bit of research. Now, this relates specifically, not the tourists, and we said that last week, it's not the tourists when you come through. You're going to have to go through the normal process. This is Spanish residents or Ibiza, Mallorca, Menorca, Formentera residents who arrive at the airport with a third country passport, whether it be Australian, New Zealand, South American, and obviously British, which is where my passion is. Now,
anyone not in Europe, basically.
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, let's just say a non-EU passport. Sorry about that. That'd be easy, wouldn't it? what's happening in Ibiza? I've been hearing some horror stories, people queuing up for over an hour. Someone came online yesterday and said that they came with 2 young kids in prams and 2 elderly people on that to queue for an hour. So some horrific stories, Rich. But it just seems to be that Iena can't get their act together. And I think this is a specifically Ibiza problem, whether it be non-training or they can't be bothered or just sheer laziness. I don't want to throw accusations about, but at the end of the day, why can Palma get it right? Alicante get it right, but Ibiza doesn't get it right as well. Now, we've got a lot of press, Rich. We're in the Periodico de Ibiza. The Bulletin picked it up, which was great. The Bulletin. Mm-hmm. Spain.es info has picked it up today, and I also had a message from the I paper, which I think is the Independent, isn't it, in the UK, asking me for a quote. I missed the deadline, but it just shows you that we're on the list of things to look at, and I think this is a hot potato. I think they need to get their house in order. I think Iena, who I've got no love for, by the way, I've got no love for Iena. They're the airport operator, and they need to really get a hold of this because it's just not fair, Rich. I mean, we don't mind being treated, maybe as second-class citizens now and again, and I use that term really truthfully because at times, as a British person in Spain, you do get treated a little bit like a second-class citizen. However, just have a separate queue for TIE holders. It's not rocket science, mate, is it? So, as I said, I'm looking to Iena. We've got this campaign together. We're getting some national press now, get some local press. So let's see how it goes. And as of yet, I haven't received a reply from the Ibiza Concr, which I'm very disappointed about.
I would say that it seems a bit daft that, particularly if we just got through the winter season, then would have been the time to actually put this into practice to make sure that it's all ready and fluent than waiting till, it starts to get towards the summer when it starts to get busier and busier. And then you're going to do it because other places are doing it. I don't know whether or not Palma is a trial for all the other airports. Do we know if Menorca does it, Mark?
Yes, spoke to Simon Cotton in Menorca yesterday. He gave me a good update. Doesn't look like they've got a system in place either, but obviously their arrivals are quite a little bit less than maybe Mallorca and Ibiza, so they're not noticing any real problems at the moment. However, they are wary that once the peak season comes, it could evolve into a problematic situation.
Yeah.
Let's keep an eye on it, mate. And I'm hoping that by maybe this time next week, on next week's pod, we can have something, maybe reply from Iena or the Conseil. But, this one's going to run until we just want a little bit of resolution, I think.
There's a new hotel opening shortly in Calviamart, the Hotel Mandarin Oriental Punta Negra, which will be opening later this summer. The British-owned 5-star hotel has been recruiting staff with the help of the town council. They've sort of done things together. And the mayor said it was a proud day for Calvi that the hotel chain Mandarin Oriental decided to open in the municipality. He also praised the efforts of staff and said they would be ambassadors for the area. The new hotel has 131 rooms, of which 26 are suites and 9 are private homes, no less. It also has a wide range of facilities, including top restaurants and a luxury spa as well.
Where is it again? Sorry, Rich, I missed that bit.
It's the old Punta Negra. So if you know, where the Son Cala Hotel is, and then also the Valparaiso. Sorry, I'm getting out myself. I can't think of the name of the hotel.
Where is it? Palma.
No. It's Son Cala. It's on the road to Port Owls.
Okay.
Next to the Mar de Val. Sorry, next to the Mar de Val. You're literally right by the Mar de Val, and it's just down the road. It's right on the seafront as well, so it's a beautiful location. It was the old Punta Negra hotel that's sort of been totally transformed into this, what sounds like, I haven't seen it yet, but I'm looking at a picture of it now. Like an artist impression, and it looks absolutely stunning, or will be absolutely stunning when it's finished. And funny enough, the mayor told me he's been invited for a night's stay and he couldn't wait. He was very excited. I said, well, I didn't get one of those. He said, oh, no. He says, he's slightly more important than I am, of course. But look, I think it's good. It's part of, how the resort wants to go to this 4 and 5 star, and this is out of town. Don't forget, this is not in the heart of Magaluf and Palma Nova. This is out of town, and obviously moving towards Port Owls, which is quite a luxurious area anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Mandarin Oriental, that is a world-class name, isn't it, Rich? I mean, I remember going to Thailand many, many years ago and going for dinner in the Mandarin Oriental. It was like a wow, big shiny and big new things, and wow. So it just shows you, Rich, the Balearics now that I think 20 years ago, brands like that wouldn't touch the Balearics. It was too bucket and spade. It wasn't cool enough. It was many things that they weren't. But now, if you look at all these brands, they're really buying into the Balearics, aren't they? I mean, I booked a friend in the Nobu Hotel in Ibiza Town yesterday as well. So, these names keep coming up. Nobu Hotel, that's in Talamanca near Ibiza Town. And it's 5-star, it's on the beach, it's super luxury, €400 a night, even this time of year, by the way, Rich. So it's not cheap, but it's what people want, Rich. And I presume the Mandarin Oriental will be a genuine 5-star hotel.
Oh yeah, without doubt. Also, I don't know if you know, but we have the four seasons up in Formentor in the north of the island. Jumeirah are over on the west of the island in Soyer. So yeah, you're right. All these sort of big brands that from around the world seem to be investing in Mallorca, which is good news. I think I can't see it as bad news. I mean, why would it be?
No, it's great news, Marie. I mean, it's important to say that they're mainly over brands, aren't they, Rich? I believe that they're owned locally, aren't they, by local companies, and then Mandarin Oriental will come in, maybe rent it for 10 or 15 years, overbrand it. They won't own the freehold, but they will run it and basically look after it for a certain amount of years. Happened last year, Rich, if you remember. I think we mentioned it, the Messi Hotel in Ibiza Town. Melia have taken that over, so it's now part of their portfolio. But it doesn't mean it's owned by Melia. It's just operated by Melia. So they
we have a similar sort of
send the bookings there.
No, this is a Melia-owned hotel, actually, the Rafa Nadal Hotel, the Zell Hotel, which is in Palma Nova, which is beautiful, by the way. Really, really nice. That's a tie-up, because I think they're doing a few more of those around Europe as well. Yeah, so.
I mean, similar concept to the MIM, which is the MIM, which is the Majestic and Messi Hotel. So, I mean, got to say, Rich, in general, the hotels in the Balearics are really, really coming on, aren't they?
Yeah, a lot of them stepped up. As I do bang on all the time, Mark, that Magaluf now has, I think it's 75% of its hotels are 4 or 5 star. A lot of the hotel, particularly the chains that are well known here, like the Melia, Riu, who else? Ibero Star, Fergus, Zafiro, all these sort of hotel chains that are owned here in Spain have all invested good money in the hotels, and they're obviously reaping the rewards.
But I don't think it gets any bigger than Mandarin Oriental, Rich. I've got to tell you, I think I mean, Jumeirah obviously is a different level, but Mandarin Oriental, I mean, that's probably about as big as it gets, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good.
Talking of hotels, Rich, good segue there, because we've got a hotel up in the north of the island in Cala, Serra, which we mentioned it before. It was designed in the 70s, a holiday village. A renowned architect called Josep Lluís Sert. There you go. Google that one. Josep Lluís Sert. He's very, very famous architect. And basically, it was 3,500 meters squared, which is pretty big, by the way. It's pretty big. And it's a concrete monument to maybe 70s excess, because it never opened ever. And it just stayed there for close to 50 years. And now, finally, they've been talking about knocking it down. The Concert of Ibiza have put out the contract, 1.7 million it's worth to the company. I think about me and you doing it, Rich, actually. I thought about that. A couple of JCBs in the winter, we could have a go, couldn't we?
Definitely.
1.7 million. I wonder if it'll go to somebody's friend, that contract. And basically, it's going to take 12 months to do it. They say 12 months, but the big work will go on between November and March, which is good because it's out of tourist season. But the interesting thing about this is that what they've said is they're going to use the concrete to build up the banks on the hillside, because it's built into a hillside. So they're going to use the concrete, try and recycle the concrete. The concrete will be good for something, but there is a curveball there, Rich. And it's bats. There you go. The bats that are living there, they're saying that they're going to have to test if there are species that are basicly protected. And if they are protected, then unfortunately, they're going to take a little bit longer than it should do. So the bats there, let's get this right. The Rhinolophus hipposideros and the Rhinolophus escalari. There you go. They're the bats, because your bat species, don't you, Rich? So,
yeah.
Also known as Mediterranean horseshoe bats. So there's always a curveball in the Balearics, mate, isn't there? There's always a curveball, and the curveball this time is bats. So listen, good news. It's going to be raised to the ground, which is good. They're going to use the concrete to restore the hillside to its previous beauty, but watch out for those bats.
Question for you on bats, actually, Mark, because bats only come out at night. That's the sort of, the legend that says they only come out at night, but they're blind. So how do they know whether it's light or dark?
I think they can sense it, can't they? They've got amazing sense to them, mate. I mean, listen, I
don't want to go into too much detail.
I've been blind drunk a few times, and I knew it was dark, Rich. So as you do. So no, Cala and Serra bat. So listen, good news, and let's get rid of it and let's restore that part. I mean, there's some people who don't like it because they think it's an iconic landmark, but I've got to tell you, it's a concrete eyesore.
Now, Netflix has announced that Rafa, the documentary series directed by American Zach Heinzeling, I think that's how you pronounce it, or Heinzeling, and produced by Skydance Sports, will premiere on the 29th of May. The series traces the life and brilliant sporting career of Mallorcan's favourite son, to be perfectly honest, Rafa Nadal, of course.
He's got to be, hasn't he, Rich? He's got to be your favourite ever son. I mean, he doesn't get any bigger than that, does it, really?
Not really. It's on Netflix, and 4 episodes will trace the extraordinary career of Rafa, combining testimonies from those who know him best, both on and off the court, with previously unseen moments that reveal what lies beneath the legend. I've always said, Mark, that a few years ago, we did use Rafa as a bit of an ambassador for Mallorca. And the problem was that he wasn't used in the way that everybody Rafa, not unrecognisable, but if you passed him in the street, you probably wouldn't notice him. A lot of people, everybody remembers him being obviously this very aggressive tennis player with the bandana, and he always pretty much wore white in most cases. Yeah, he fiddled and mucked about with his shorts 25 times before he could serve. So when they actually used him as an ambassador, they put him in clothing that you just wouldn't recognise him. So when he was doing all this stuff, not a lot of people guessed it. And I said to someone, why are they doing it like this? Why don't they just have a couple of images of him playing tennis and then go, this is Rafa Nadal. He was born in Mallorca, and he thinks that you should keep Mallorca for not only now, for the rest of the time. Do you know what I mean? And keep it in the way that our fathers remembered it, and is for our children's children. Exactly that. And all that's all you needed to do, but they didn't. They spent about 5 million on absolutely nothing, and it was a waste of time. So I firmly believe that he should be the one that should be campaigning for Mallorca. When you arrive at the airport, there's 2 big screens. He should be the guy that's welcoming you to Mallorca and telling them, everybody, that he's his home. So take care of it while you're here. That's my opinion, anyway.
Absolutely. And also, Rich, I love your idea of renaming Mallorca Airport the Rafa Nadal Airport.
Should be, mate.
I mean, it's an absolute no-brainer, but it won't happen because he's not a politician with his hand in the jar, is he?
Well, so, then you look around the world and you look at some of the most famous airports. Liverpool Airport is the John Lennon Airport, of course. Belfast is the George Best Airport. Then you've got obviously JFK in New York. There are lots of great examples of neither George Best or John Lennon were politicians. Well, John Lennon, you could have said, was a good politician in a way, but it should be. He should be. And what it would do, it will obviously remind people of Rafa Nadal Mallorca. It's a great synergy. I can't believe they have not taken it up. But anyway,
I mean, I always think that Rafa comes across. I mean, the reason why I asked you if you'd met him before, but I always think he comes across as a really decent, nice bloke, right? It doesn't seem like he's got an edge. He seems like he's a hard-working guy, right-handed, but he played tennis left-handed because Uncle Tony said it was more advantageous. There's a great story there. Do you know, Rich, does he live in Mallorca now? Is he on the mainland?
Yeah. No, he still lives in Mallorca. He lives in Manacor. The whole family have pretty much a whole street. Because his uncle used to play for Barcelona, Miguel Angel. Yeah. And obviously there's his uncle Tony, and the whole family have pretty much a street just outside Porto Cristo on the hill. If you go to Porto Cristo, his yacht in Porto Cristo dwarfs anything else that you're seeing. And everybody what's that? Well, that's Rafa's boat. But Rafa will go into Porto Cristo pretty much. I've got friends that live there, and he'll wander around and he'll say hello to people. No airs or places. And he used to travel around. He was always traveling by EasyJet. When he went to all the tournaments, he wasn't going in private planes and first class by BA or whatever. He was on EasyJet. Do you know what I mean? EasyJet.
That doesn't surprise me at all. I mean, you know something? If Palma or Mallorca don't use him, it'd be an absolute travesty, wouldn't it? Because, I mean, he's still relevant. He's a hard-working young man who loves Mallorca. I mean, what an absolute ambassador for the island, and also the Balearics as well, Rich. I mean, as I say, he's got to be Balearic's favourite son. He's definitely Mallorca's favourite son, isn't he? So,
I agree.
Come on, Rafa Nadal International Airport. We need that, don't we?
We do.
Clubs, Rich. It's getting to that time. We've got the club opening weekend, which is not the weekend coming up. It's the weekend after. massive weekend. You've got the Ushuaia opening, you've got High opening, you've got the IMS, which I'll talk about next week, which is the International Music Summit. A lot of other places. Pikes has just opened. It's starting to happen, Rich. An interesting article today. It said that the summer season is about to kick off and the opening parties are already nearly sold out, which is incredible.
Wow.
And the nightlife leaders say that they're expecting around 30,000 people into the island for the club opening weekend. So demand has been huge, and the key markets are UK, Germany, and Italy. Also, the UK remains the island's biggest club market. So, but the crowds are becoming more international with increasing numbers from places such as the Netherlands and the United States. So it goes in with what we've been saying for a long time, isn't it? So for the island, these openings aren't just parties; they're the true start of summer, really. So, and the hotels will open around it. Restaurants will open around it as well. So it's a massive weekend, Rich. And I was talking to Humphrey about. Humphrey asked me a question. Humphrey from the Bulletin in Mallorca asked me. He said, "What's the difference between Mallorca and Ibiza?" Balearics are beautiful places, but every island's different. But what we've got, which you haven't got, is we've got world-class clubs and hospitality. I mean, can honestly say that we've got probably the best three clubs in the four clubs in the world, and we are pioneers because Miami's copied us, Dubai's copied us, Las Vegas copied us. All these different places have copied the concept, and we should never, ever be sniffy about how important the clubs are. COVID proved that. Once the clubs closed, the island was great, a lovely place, but nobody came because the clubs weren't open. So, I think the COVID fiasco taught us that clubbing and world-class hospitality is where Ibiza's at. So, massive weekend coming up, Rich, and I, for one, will be enjoying it.
Now, you say that Rafa Nadal is Mallorca's favourite son. Well, not far behind him right now. He's a guy called Vedat Muriqi.
Oh, yes. Well, he's got to be Kosovo's favourite son at the moment, hasn't he?
Well, yeah, but he's Mallorca's favourite son right now because he's tearing them away from the relegation zone after a 2-goal salvo got Mallorca a 3-0 win against Rayo Vallecano last Sunday in the pouring rain. Me and my two sons braved the weather to go and watch the game and thoroughly enjoyed it. My eldest hasn't been for quite a long time, and he said, "When did they start playing football like this?"
Did Michaelis, Richie? Did Michaelis?
It has.
You've got to say he's changed things, hasn't he?
Totally, he has. 10 points out of 15 since he came. We've won every home game, and we look like a team now. We didn't have our two first-choice centre-backs. Raillo is out for the rest of the season, unfortunately, with an ankle injury. And Valgent was banned. He was on suspension from yellow card. So we had a bit of a makeshift back line, but managed to get through. We now lie in 15th place on 34 points. We're tied with Sevilla. We're 1 point behind Valencia, and that's the next team we play, Valencia at home, a week on Tuesday. There's no games La Liga this weekend because it's Copa del Rey this weekend. So there's no games this weekend. So all the games are in midweek next week. So we play next Tuesday against Valencia. I think it's a 7 o'clock kickoff down at the Son Moix. And once again, if we could win that, then we'd be up to 37. I think, one more win after that would pretty much assure us that it's 40 points is normally it's been less than that in years gone by, but 40 points is normally the target for most teams as it is in the Premier League. Listen, Oviedo and Levante are still knocking on the door still. They're not giving up hope. You've got Oviedo bottom on 27, Levante on 29, and Elche on 32. Then you'll find Alaves on 33, Sevilla 34, Mallorca 34, and then Valencia 35, along with Vallecano, who we just beat on 35. That takes you right up to 13.
It's a massive game that is next week, Rich. God, what a massive game. Rich, is that right then? So you've had 3 home games on the spin?
Yeah, because we've played quite a few more away games. I don't know the reason why. Right. I think it might have been something to do with Champions League or something, Mark, to be honest with you. Yeah. But we've still got to play. We're still going to play Alaves, Levante, and Real Oviedo, who are the teams that are below us. Yeah, so it's in our hands. You've
said it all along, Rich. You said it's in your hands, and really you've got to beat those teams. If you were playing the top 6, then it might be a bit different. But it's
the only top team we're playing Villarreal in 3rd place. That's the only sort of what I would call one of the top teams we've got left to play. And the rest are sort of in and around us. So it is in our hands. We're playing very well. even the players that we've probably, not looked at before, Pablo Torre, who we got from Barcelona, he's playing out of his skin. Who didn't really get a look in Arrasate. And also a guy called Lovumba, I think he's called. He's come on loan from Cagliari in Italy. It didn't even play, I don't think, under Arrasate at all. The cross he put in for Mariki's second goal.
Good goal, wasn't it?
What a great goal that was.
Straight on his Swede, that was, mate.
And it was good to see Jan Vachiri score as well. We've also got him from Barcelona. He is a great little player, very fast winger. He scored his first goal. His mum was there as well, which would have been nice for him.
Fantastic. No, I watched snippets of the game, mate, and obviously I was talking to you on WhatsApp at the time, so it looked fantastic. 3-0, listen, 3-0's not to be sniffed at. That's 5 goals, 4 and 1 against in 2 games and 6 points, Rich. I mean, wow, Demichelis is doing a great job. Rich, quick question. You walk into the bar, you got Mariki on your left-hand side and you got Rafa on your right-hand side, but you can only speak to one of them. Who are you going to?
Oh, you speak to Rafa.
Oh, is it Rafa? Yeah, So
of course.
Mariki can stand at the end of the bar on his own.
Listen, I've met Mariki in Lidl, actually, doing his shopping. So he's once again another down to earth. But his kids go to the school that my wife works in, so he's very down to earth, actually. Mariki, like the others, actually. Nice guy. I have spoken to him, but yeah, if I had the choice, it would be definitely Rafa.
Rafa wins all day long, doesn't he? The Rafa Nadal International Airport. Get it done, Rich. Come on, let's start that campaign.
Yes, definitely.
Nice one, Richard. Good to speak to you.
And you, take care, Mark.
I'll look forward to you. I'm off to Dublin tomorrow for a couple of days on a little.
Manage.
Listen, I'm on these cheap flights from Ryanair. It's costing me €46 return. So me and Luke, my oldest son's going to go for a little. We're going to go to he loves Guinness, so we're going to go and have a bit of Guinness in Dublin, mate. So we'll talk about that next week. Listen, have a great week, Richie.
And you, take care, mate.
Speak to you soon, buddy.
Bye, mate.
Make me dance.